Welcome to the Outlandish podcast. I'm here with Desiree, where we'll be talking about social commerce, the beginnings of Shopify and TikTok, and obviously we're going to be talking about Social Collective and why you should join. So, hi Desiree, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
How's it going?
Really good. We just wrapped up on a Social Collective call that went for an hour. So
about how we started Dodo Chocolates from 0 to $7 million.
Yes.
And how you can do it too. Anyway, so let's get into it. So I want to start with asking, how did you get into digital commerce? Because you have a very, very interesting story. I want to kind of share that. Let's start with that.
Okay, happy to share that. And I would say I got into digital commerce in 2001, maybe even a little bit sooner. So back then I started an agency. And then I had a startup that actually was on CNBC on a television show called West Texas Investors Club, which was produced by Shark Tank. So I had this business idea that was pre-revenue, and I was like, how do I start a business? So I went on the show, and Matthew McConaughey's brother was one of the main, I guess.
Wait, what was the show?
West Texas Investors Club.
West Texas Investors Club.
Yep.
And that was pre-Shark Tank?
It was during Shark Tank.
Oh, okay. So it's similar to Shark Tank.
Very similar.
Okay.
So I actually applied to Shark Tank. They accepted my application. I think at that time they had like 60,000 people applying. It was still a fairly new show. And I went through all of their like eligibility criteria.
Yeah.
But then they found out I was pre-revenue with my idea, and they're like, well, I don't think you'll really do good on Shark Tank because you're pre-revenue, and they want to see metrics and revenue. So they were like, there's this other show that we produce called West Texas Investors Club on CNBC.
Yeah.
You should apply to that. I think we'll get you on. So I applied to that. I took a private jet down to the middle of Texas.
They flew you out?
Yes.
Wow.
It's called Midland, Texas. Literally in the middle of nowhere. But I guess like President Bush was born there, so that's like his claim to fame.
Okay.
And it's a lot of like oil tycoons, and I ended up meeting two guys that were oil billionaires, and they're investing in investing in companies.
Okay.
And so I pitched them on national TV, and I ended up like crying on the episode. It was so embarrassing, but they decided not to invest in me.
Wait, why did you cry on the episode live?
Because I was just like, it was like a really emotional thing, because it was like a business I like really believed in.
Yeah.
They kind of like cut it down, made me feel a little bit like not prepared. And I think I just got really overwhelmed on the show and started crying. So they were like, yeah, we're not going to invest in you at this time.
Oh, no.
And I was like, okay. So like went off camera. And then the producer in the background, behind the scenes was like, oh, actually they want you to come back out. And I was like, what? I just made a fool of myself on TV. Okay. So I went back out, and they were like, we believe in you. We're going to invest in you. So they ended
on
up
the second time?
Yeah, they put me back out and ended up investing. And it was a really fun experience and journey to learn how to have an idea, create a business out of that idea, and then pitch for investment and build a business. So I ended up building the business. They did a follow-up show a year later to show where I was. And we were doing a few million in revenue, and it was really fun. And I got to involve my children in that whole experience. The idea of that business was actually based off of my kids.
Okay.
And so they were involved in that business process the whole time. And I even did a partnership with NASCAR. And my kids flew out. We did like NASCAR stuff.
So wait, what was the business?
So it was a really interesting idea. It was called Future College Fund.
Okay.
And it's a way to crowdfund your kids' college education. Oh. So it was right when Kickstarter came out, where you could crowdfund for your business. And I thought, wouldn't it be so great if you could crowdfund for your kids' college education?
Yeah.
So at every kid's life event, birthdays, holidays, whatever it might be, instead of giving them gifts, which they get a ton of gifts already, invest into their college savings account.
It was like a SaaS platform. You could register and be like, go fund my kids' college. And then and on a birthday, it's like, hey, just donate here, and
Exactly.
when he gets to 18, he'll have that's a great idea.
Such a fun
I've never
idea.
heard of that.
Yeah. I was actually pretty early
Yeah.
with this idea because at the time Kickstarter had just started and nobody really knew what crowdfunding is.
Yeah.
So if I relaunch this idea now with an app, it'd probably do very well because everyone knows about QR codes and knows about crowdfunding and all of those things.
Yeah.
And I stayed up late nights. I barely slept at that time building it out. I built the whole platform myself. I partnered with PayPal at the time. They grandfathered me into some crazy transactions that now would be considered money laundering, but at that time I was allowed to do it until they figured out that was probably not the best way to conduct business. But it was really fun and really.
That was like the very early stages of e-commerce.
Yeah, very early. HTML. It was like there was no Shopify or anything at this time.
So at what point when did you join Shopify?
So I joined Shopify in 2016, I believe.
Okay.
And Shopify really took off in 2014. So they'd been around 2 years. They're a Canadian company. And at the time when they offered me a position there, I was like, I'm not sure, are people really going to use a website builder? People really had custom websites at the time with high cost to create a website. So I was like, I'm not sure if I buy into this whole Shopify thing. But I was like, I'll give it a chance. I'm going to go to their training. They had a 3-week onboarding in Waterloo, Canada.
Yeah.
I'd never been anywhere in middle Canada in my life. And I think I had to fly into Toronto. And then it was like a 3-hour drive into Waterloo. And they had us come in as a cohort. I think there was 15 other people in my cohort. And we're all onboarding to learn all about Shopify. And it was such a new platform. At the time in Canada, they probably had 800 employees.
Yeah.
And I was one of the very first United States hires. So I would say I'm probably number 3 U.S. hire. And when they onboarded me, they had no American entity at the time. So they were still trying to figure out how would they pay me and how would they give me insurance in the U.S. So it took a while, but they figured it out.
So what was your role in Shopify? What were you hired to do?
Yeah, so I started as a merchant success manager on the Shopify Plus team. And Shopify Plus is the enterprise level of their subscription model. So when you first sign up to Shopify, they have basic, which is $29 a month.
Yeah.
They have an advanced tier, and then they have Plus. And Shopify Plus, when I joined, did not exist. It was a brand new idea of them building an enterprise level subscription for the key accounts or the top brands of the world.
Yeah.
So we started with Nestle, Pepsi. We got the Kardashian brands on there. We had Chubby Shorts. We had, Allbirds shoes. We started getting these really big brands that were doing millions of dollars in revenue.
Yeah.
And they just outgrew the basic Shopify features.
Yeah.
So our developers started creating features only exclusive to Shopify Plus, and then our sales team started selling this enterprise level solution to these larger brands. And then so our team was hired and trained to deal with the largest brands of the world.
Okay. So what was the difference between the basic and the enterprise? What was the enterprise offering at the time?
Yeah, so enterprise with Shopify, the main draw for Shopify Plus at the time was lower transaction rates if you're generating more revenue.
Yeah.
So with a basic plan, you might have a certain transaction rate. So when you got on Shopify Plus, you're doing higher volume, so you can save on the transaction costs.
Okay.
And then also features that were only available to Shopify Plus at that time. One was called Scripts, which I don't know, they should still have that around, but you could write custom scripts so that you could do custom things on your site that a basic site couldn't do.
Yeah.
Or you could customize your checkout, which on a basic Shopify plan, you cannot customize your checkout, and that bigger brand wants to have that custom checkout experience.
Okay.
They also had something called Launchpad, which I don't know if they still have this as a feature, but for let's say a flash sale, let's say Kylie Jenner's lip kit is going on sale and they have a special dedicated landing page just for that flash sale. Launchpad would start at whatever time you started, let's say midnight, and it would run for whatever course, let's say 24 hours, and then that page would go away.
Oh, okay, like a temporary landing page for, was it like built for like
limited
campaigns?
Time sales? Yeah, limited time campaigns. So like we could see the revenue generated on those single campaign pages during a short period of time.
Interesting. And so some of the brands, give me some of the names of the brands that you kind of like onboarded to Shopify at the time.
Yeah, so I probably worked with hundreds or thousands of brands during my time there, but some notable brands that I got to onboard, and one was actually in the startup program I hosted at Shopify, was Liquid Death, which now is like $100 million brand. I worked with Pixie Beauty, which is a really popular beauty brand. Now it's in Target and all these places, but back when I was helping them, they were not in big box stores yet. Also Beauty Bakery. It's a beauty brand that looks like bakery items, and it was created by a single mom in San Diego. Her and her daughter were in the kitchen, and they created just such fun packaging for this makeup brand, and she became a $100 million brand.
So I have a question then. So of all these businesses that you saw grow from like really a small business into these massive multi-million or billion-dollar companies, what do you think they have in common? As in, like, is it the founders? Was there something special about them in general? Was it the model? Was it the branding? What would you say is the key factors of success in brands that you saw go viral?
I would say number one is the founder. I can look at a brand and talk to the founder, and I will tell you if that brand will be $1 million brand.
So what is it about the founder?
They have like this unstoppable grit that like normal people don't have, but like they also like they aren't afraid to fail. They don't give up, and they're smart. They're not like just trying something to like, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow, because believe me, I get a lot of DMs that are like, oh, I'm going to start a Shopify store because I'll be a millionaire next week. And I'm like, no, you won't. Like, good luck with that. But it just takes a certain personality type and someone that just really believes in themselves, and they're resourceful, and they lean on other people that they can get resources from, knowledge from, mentorship from. And they're not afraid to ask the questions, and they're not afraid to not know all the answers. So I would say, you know, like Beauty Bakery, the single mom, she didn't give up, and she had such a cool idea to make the makeup look like bakery items that when it's on display, people just notice it right away. Yeah,
so they kind of very innovative, creative, and because I'm the same when I look at sellers that want to onboard with us or on TikTok. A lot of the time when I speak to the founder, you can tell if they have the stamina and the because if you see a problem, they're not gonna just give up. They're gonna find a way to get through that problem and get to the next step. Or you have the other side of the coin when the founder is kind of like, you can tell that they're not all in it. They're just like, I'm just gonna do that, but I'm also doing 5 other things at the same time, and then they'll disappear. Like even as an agency, there's only so much we can do on the marketing side. I can guarantee you the views, but I can't go to your product and say, actually that should change this slightly because this is the CTOR, the click to order rate on this product, which means that your branding is, I don't know, maybe the font's too small or too big, and but they won't even be there. They're not even online. It will take them 6 months to change it. So actually, how important do you think with these brands? Let's say, you mentioned Liquid Death. How quick did they move?
they pivot quickly, and I mean, obviously the founder of Liquid Death is really creative and funny, and created that brand based on what he saw as an opportunity in the market. But also, like, I was so lucky being so early at Shopify that these huge brands, I worked with the founders. They didn't have a team yet. They were just starting and became $100 million brands. So like when I say I can go call the founder of this brand, they remember me because I was on the ground floor at Shopify when they started. And like, how grateful are they to someone that helped their brand become what it is today?
And how important is it for them to have someone like you, either from the platform or as a mentor in general, for them to get to that next stage? How important do you think it is to have that support?
It's just going to speed up your time to growth and help you bypass a lot of the failures that I've already seen. And I know what doesn't work and I know what does work. Where should you invest money? Where should you not invest money? And I even spoke to a startup yesterday. She's starting a diaper bag for new moms, and she's never had a brand in her life. And she's still prototyping, and she goes, hey, someone told me I need to spend money on ads. And I was like, you don't have a website yet.
Yeah, like, where are you sending it to?
Yeah, so you need, these foundational steps that are really important, but then you need someone that has done it before or advised people before what you should invest your time and money on that's going to move the needle more quickly than someone who's never done it before, because you're just going to do trial and error so much that it slows down the process. And I think it's so important to find a community or a network of founders or people that are doing what you want to do, so you can all collaborate together.
And my experience with this is, if you are innovating to, like, if you're a brand that's innovating on a new platform and you're pushing on a new platform, the platform will support you and they will help you, because they want sellers that are willing to take some risk and push on the new channel. So I'm not, I wasn't too familiar with Shopify, but when it first came out, did people see it as, were people like on the edge about using it, or what's the point of it? Is it going to work? And the people that adopted it early, did they see success?
Yeah, so the people that adopted early, we wanted to use them as case studies as success. So they had dedicated teams helping them grow their brand within Shopify. And it was so neat because we would hear the brand's feedback, and the next day our dev team would build for that. Literally the next day. And then there was a lot of brands on WordPress, which is not built for e-commerce ever.
I remember using that. That was difficult.
So bad. And then a lot of people were on Magento, but Magento's really, it's not easy to use. It's not user-friendly. And so I think it took a while for people to build trust with Shopify. And Shopify didn't advertise. They didn't market. And when I first started there, I was like, why aren't you guys marketing like GoDaddy? They have Danica Patrick everywhere, in the race car. Why aren't we doing the same thing?
Yeah, why didn't they advertise?
They didn't. They never did. And they're a Canadian company, so they marketed so heavily in Canada, which is obviously they're proud of that, right? They are from Canada. But in Canada, their entire population is 30 million people. Yeah. We're in LA right now. The population in LA is 50 million. So that tells you a lot. If they start advertising in the United States, I don't know, we have 300 million people. So to me, I was like, this is a huge missed opportunity in the early days. But they wanted to focus on Canada, but still onboard a lot of American brands.
Were they just moving slowly to see, trial and error and see if they were ready? And because now they advertise, right? I think
now they do heavily. They and my kids laugh because they're like, "Haha, Mom, isn't that Shopify where you used to work?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I worked there till it grew to 12,000 employees."
That's a huge growth, though.
Huge growth.
So what happened in the growth
fast.
from you were the first five, one of the first five in the US?
In the US.
And then how did the company culture of Shopify change? Because I assume they were more startup mode.
So startup.
Working out how to pay you from Canada.
Yeah.
And then 12,000 employees. Firstly, how long did that take? And then how did they building the processes and structure into the company to get to that point? I'm super interested just
I
from a
know.
personal perspective. Yeah.
They grew really quick, and I would say COVID made them grow even faster because once COVID hit in 2020, we hired 5,000 people because everybody went online.
Wow.
I had my neighbors walking down the streets drinking wine, having no job, and I'm in my office like I've never worked more in my fucking life right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're onboarding everybody now. Like,
everyone had to go online.
yeah, they all had to go online, or they had to do curbside pickup. So we built a solution on Shopify for curbside pickup.
Yeah.
Restaurants started using Shopify for curbside pickup.
Yeah.
I mean, we onboarded so many accounts, but also hired really quick.
How many
5,000.
accounts were you in charge of at the time?
So when I first started at Shopify, I had 75 accounts, which is really high for an account executive.
For one person?
One person.
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
With key accounts, not just mediocre accounts. These are $100 million accounts.
You can't sleep.
Yeah, no sleeping. But we're in the building phase, so it was just like energizing. And Shopify did such a great job hiring. Their talent and the process that they went through to source the talent, train the talent, create that company culture is like no other place I've ever worked. We felt like family.
How did they build the company culture then? How did they hold it?
Yeah, they had a team, and they were really like thoughtful about it, and they worked on it constantly, and they had like just different way. Like I don't even know how they did it, but that team was magical.
Like what is a company culture team, like a department?
There
for
was.
Company culture?
There was a company culture team.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And they did an amazing job. A guy named Lauren was a part of it. And to this day, I would say even with up to 5,000 employees, we felt like family. All of us knew each other around the world by first name. And even to this day, we have a Shopify alumni Slack. We all still talk to each other on a daily basis.
Wow.
Like, that's how tight-knit they made our culture.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the people they hired were just so smart. I mean, people had imposter syndrome all the time working there.
Yeah.
Like, am I good enough to work here? I don't know. But they went on to build amazing companies too.
Yeah.
And now they're like third-party solutions for Shopify, for TikTok. And I can call them because I'm like, oh, we started together at Shopify. We have this crazy bond. And they're like, yeah, I'm doing this now. Oh, that's amazing. Let's freaking help each other out now. So, I don't know how that team did it, but they did an incredible job. And then back to your question, how did culture shift after it grew to 12,000 employees? They started hiring like C-suite. I mean, we had a C-suite. They were awesome, super laid back guys. But then they started hiring new C-suite. And as these new people came into an already, I felt really great culture that was established, and like we were all OGs like working there.
Yeah.
They brought these new people in, and it honestly broke the culture.
Oh,
no. It shattered it to pieces, and I think that kind of hurt Shopify in a way, because the people that really understood the foundation of why it was built were not being listened to anymore. Like, I used to be able to be like, hey, tomorrow we should like build this or do this. And they're like, yeah, let's do it. To now all this red tape. Oh, what's going to be the like ROI on that? Like, it started becoming like very corporatized and not fun anymore.
Why do you think they made that decision to hire more like C-suite? Was there a problem, or like was it after COVID they started to see it kind of slide down a bit? I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I would say probably a few different reasons. And yes, after COVID, things went down and they ended up laying off a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think they were figuring out if they brought in this really high talent that is very experienced, that maybe it'd bring maybe a different perception or depth to the company. I'm assuming they did it so to keep the growth and company going, but maybe it lost the culture.
So where do you think, like, you've been doing e-commerce in different forms since the very beginning. Mm-hmm. Where do you think it's all going? Where do you think the direction is? Because we started with, D2C websites with like clunky payment systems, and then obviously you went to Shopify as one of the founding employees in the US. And where do you think it's going from here? Like, yeah, what direction?
Yeah, I think we're moving towards the social commerce, like exactly what Outlandish is doing, and where entertainment is kind of at the cross-section of e-commerce. So now you are feeling connected to the brand because you're getting to know the story, the founder story. You're being entertained by that brand. You're getting to communicate more directly with the brand. So like with live shopping, you can ask questions.
So you're a believer in live shopping?
I'm totally a believer in live shopping.
Good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
No.
And TikTok right now, I mean, I remember TikTok when it was Musical.ly and my kids were dancing to Musical.ly and it was like, well, what are they doing? And then the D'Amelios during COVID were dancing and became this next sensation of creators on TikTok. And like me and my daughter would dance to whatever dances they were teaching on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I ended up meeting their whole family, and they're like so lovely and so smart. And they have 3 brands on TikTok Shop now.
Yeah.
And so I think it slowly progressed from entertainment to live shopping. And I remember when TikTok Shop came out, like not even that long ago.
No.
I would say almost like a little over a year ago, I brought Ashley Benson from Pretty Little Liars into TikTok in LA's studio to try live shopping. And they were like, oh cool, we'll bring a celebrity in. Let's try and sell her perfume and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And it was still like the wild, wild west. I mean, it still kind of is the wild, wild west. People are figuring it out. But it was so cool to see like TikTok was still figuring out how to do live shopping during that time. And it was cool because her fans got to join the stream and like connect with her and ask her about personal questions, but also about her brand.
Live shopping is a very interesting one because it's almost like when you were saying in the beginning of Shopify, everyone was like, oh, should I use this? Is this a good idea or not? It's exactly the same with live shopping. And it was the same with TikTok Shop in the beginning. Everyone was like, oh, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah.
It's a bit controversial. It's not I don't know why people thought that in the first place. It's a very strange thing to think. To me, it just makes a lot of logical sense to go to the place where everyone is using already, rather than a place where no one is using and try and get everyone to go there from the place that has all the traffic, which is TikTok, YouTube, Meta, which they are also like going heavily into YouTube shopping, Meta shops, TikTok shops, but it's still, like you said, very wild, wild west, very early days. So I'll talk, like when I came over from China with TikTok in the UK market, basically my job was to figure out what is the difference between streaming in China where it's already successful and doing it in a Western market. And it's very different. It's like vastly different. So when like TikTok were testing with celebrities, they went on live streams, and to be frank with you, most of them didn't sell very well. They couldn't sell that well. They could only sell their own brand. They could not sell anything else because people only wanted to buy their product from the person selling it. But if they sold like a pen, they wouldn't buy the pen. And it's a consumer habit that hasn't been built, similar to how COVID launched Shopify. It's like sped it up. In China, COVID sped up live stream. And so that didn't happen in the West. So it's not like everyone suddenly had a need that they had to buy from a new form of shopping. So if that's not the case, then there needs to be a much slower progression of someone that's never seen a live stream to someone purchasing off a live stream. And the interesting thing about the US market is they do have Home Shopping Network, QVC, which is very successful. It was successful back in, what was it, 90s? Was it 90s? Yeah, early 2000s, 90s, even up to now, people still buy. But as, like, even on QVC.
Even COVID, QVC really helped brands.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because even then, like, people don't go on QVC and they open up their TV and be like, I'm going to immediately buy something.
Yeah.
QVC takes, on average, 9 months from the first time you watch it to making a purchase is
Yeah.
9 months between. So that's the same on live stream. You can't expect someone to watch a live stream and be like, I'm going to change my consumer habit immediately.
Yeah.
I'm never going to buy from a video or from a website. I'm going to buy through a live. It just doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
So even when we're talking to all these live people, I'm going to test out lives, it better work immediately. Like, it's just an unrealistic expectation. It's going to take a long time.
Yep.
But we're starting to see higher and higher success, which kind of like, we started doing live streams a year ago almost a year ago from Santa Monica, right? In the beginning, I would say our average was like $100, $200 an hour. Now we're averaging $500 to $1,000 an hour, which in the space of 1 year,
Yeah.
the GMV per hour has already doubled. And this isn't like a one-on-one transaction. The more
Yeah.
people that end up buying through live stream, it's just gonna double, triple the amount of GMV you make hourly, but you have the same costs.
Yep.
So it's just a very, very scalable model. Which the best thing about live stream for me is the job opportunities that it offers to people. Because this is something that you cannot really replace with AI, even if you wanted to. People want to buy from people.
Yes.
You know that, right? People
Yeah.
don't. People want to buy from people. They like the backstory. They want the story.
Yeah, and even
so-
when you hear the AI voice, you're just like instantly
Yeah.
tuned out.
Instantly, just like,
Yeah.
it's very lower funnel.
Yeah.
It doesn't really convert. So what's your opinion on like, because you said you were talking about like the D'Amelios and bigger creators. Where do you think they're going to go as social commerce gets bigger? We know they're launching some of their own brands, but do you think that's the direction for all creators? They all need to launch their own brands or partner with brands?
I think the creators that launch their own brand probably are the most successful. Like you said, when they try to represent just a brand as an affiliate, yes, it might work. But like if I see a celebrity talking about a brand, I'm like, oh, they're paid to say that. So
Yeah.
I might not believe them that it's really authentic.
Yeah.
But like the D'Amelios have their popcorn brand, their shoe brand. I would say because they are who they are, I would purchase from them because they're fun. They're creating a fun brand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it just really depends on the specific creator or celebrity and if it makes sense for them to have that brand. I wouldn't say every single one it would work, but
So if you're like a brand and you're thinking which creators should I work with, would you suggest to work with big creators like Charli D'Amelio, or would you suggest
No.
to work with smaller affiliates?
I would definitely suggest to work with small affiliates because it comes off as way more authentic. And hiring a large creator or celebrity, you would never recoup the margins it costs to hire that person.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get the return on investment you would hope to see. Just like being on Shark Tank, you're not going to get millions of sales because you went on Shark Tank. But people think that, right? They're like,
This is going to cause such a huge shift
Yeah.
in the way that creators even think. Because they're going to go from, oh, so long as I get views, I'm good.
yeah.
And it's going to be like, now the brand's like, well, no, the views aren't important.
Yeah.
How much can you sell? How
Exactly.
authentic are you? How much do people want to buy from you, not just want to watch you?
Yeah, and entertain at the same time.
Yeah.
Because like social commerce is almost like you're watching a show. You're invested, and you come back because maybe you like that creator that is connecting with you on a weekly basis, and you're like, oh, I'm invested now because we're having conversations back and forth. I'm learning about this brand, or I'm being educated. But I think it's going to shift into a whole new way of engaging with brands
Yeah.
that no one's ever thought of before. And the thing that I've noticed is not everyone's shopping on TikTok Shop. Like my kids are, because they are like, I'm on my TikTok grind. I just got this for $1.
TikTok grind?
Yeah, it's called the TikTok grind, where you're going through all the live streams and getting deals because
Yeah.
like there's a lot of deals to be had. And I think kids also, they aren't like apprehensive of like, well, if I buy this with my credit card, am I like getting scammed? But I don't know, my kids have no money, so good luck with their credit card. But I think people are beginning to trust TikTok Shop as a place to check out. But it's so new, and not everyone even knows about it. Like, even brands aren't investing heavily to TikTok Shop as a sales channel.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because I've worked with top brands, and I'm like, get on TikTok Shop. The algorithm's right. People are making money. Mary Ruth's, for example, I know them personally. I don't know if I can say how much they do a month, but it's millions. And like, they just started probably less than a year ago on TikTok.
Yeah.
And they are crushing it with the affiliates. And they could never do that somewhere else. I mean, they do really good on Shopify, but Shopify is a website. You still need marketing budget to get people to know about your Shopify website. With TikTok, people are already on TikTok. They're seeing those affiliates. They're seeing Mary Ruth's. Now that you go on there, you're going to see Mary Ruth's like every time now.
Do you think long term this could be an existential threat to Shopify itself?
Oh yeah. So when I was at Shopify, Shopify powers the checkout to Google, to Meta, used to TikTok, and then TikTok decided not to play nice with Shopify. They wanted it all within their own platform and not give up that control. And so, which was smart by TikTok, because they are now building their whole checkout experience.
It's a risky move by TikTok. That's like a lot of investment on something that they, outside of China, really didn't have. No one was thinking, oh, TikTok's going to be an e-com app. No one was thinking it.
Nobody.
And then TikTok were like, you know what? We're going to change the game. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah. I mean, it was a huge move.
Yeah.
And Shopify is smart to offer checkout to all these big partnerships.
Yeah.
But then, TikTok didn't want to do it. So now they power their own checkout. They do integrate with Shopify through a third-party app. So yes, you can still see your sales on both dashboards.
Yeah.
But I think it's a huge threat, because now Klaviyo for email is integrating with TikTok Shop. Yeah. You can run your email funnels right through TikTok. Okendo is directly integrating with TikTok Shop. Now you can do your surveys, your customer surveys, right through TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
They're literally building what Shopify built when I first started there.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so exciting to see the partnerships TikTok is making, and the brands that are doing $30 million in 30 days just going as a sales channel there.
Yeah.
It's crazy, because I've talked to brands, and they're like, no, we're not going to spend marketing budget or change our sales channel to TikTok Shop. It's too risky. What if the platform goes away? We don't know how to run it. We don't know anything about TikTok. But the brands that risked it all in the last 12 months guarantee are doing $5 million a month. Easy. Not even trying. And like, this is like now going to become the most dominant sales channel for brands and creators that nobody can touch. And TikTok's not going away. There's no way.
And I
think Elon Musk, Oracle, someone, you better get it quick.
I think there was news that came out the other day, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some rumors going around, but we'll find out soon. I have a very, very interesting metric from a big brand. I can't say who, but they're already in retail everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And the rumored measurement of the spillover effect, as in because of TikTok Shop, because of the amount of eyeballs they're getting and revenue they're getting on TikTok Shop, their sales outside of TikTok Shop has grown by over 30%.
Yep.
And I can't tell you how big this brand already is. Yeah. So 30% is incredible.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that will ever be shared, but just know that the spillover effect on TikTok Shop, we just had a webinar in Social Collective.
Yeah.
Talking about the Dodo chocolates, which is a brand that I built with my business partners, and we average 100 million views a month.
Yeah.
And the brand didn't exist before December.
Yeah.
So in 6 months' time, what was it? 7 months, it now averages 100 million a month. and we do, on a good month, $1.5 million a month.
Yeah.
A new brand, completely new. So
Yeah.
if you were an existing brand and you moved on to TikTok Shop, well, how much revenue could you be doing? But thinking even bit more big brain, how many views could you be getting for your other channels? The
Yeah.
spillover effect to your Amazon, to your Shopify, to your retail could
Yeah.
increase the sales by more than 30%. So
I
it's
see that every time. Every brand that starts on TikTok, their sales on Shopify and Amazon increase. And it's definitely attributed to people recognizing the brand, having it top of mind when they're being entertained on TikTok. And the same thing happens with YouTube. People don't normally shop from YouTube, but they see it, and then it spillovers to Amazon or Shopify.
YouTube shopping is going to be interesting in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Right now, they're still very like tiptoeing around it.
Yeah.
I've spoken to them a couple of times, and it's like the algorithm is still not going to prioritize sales or click-through rates. But YouTube Shorts are already growing quite a lot.
Yeah.
So once they're kind of like, all right, let's try it, I think you're going to see a lot of revenue from that platform as well. I want to talk a little bit about where, like, if you're a seller or if you're a creator or an agency even, and you want to find out the latest news, where do you go to?
Yeah, well, I think me and you are...
We're a bit biased.
Yeah. we are able to tap into TikTok, actually, like, people that work at TikTok to give us resources and updates.
Yeah.
But,
and Shopify and
Shopify.
YouTube shopping and all these platforms.
Yeah. Like, we are so deep inside of this industry that we see the updates all the time, right? But I think what's really cool is that we started Social Collective with Jasper, and it's his birthday today. Happy birthday. But we started a community where we can share these updates, where we can share these resources that the average person would not be learning about or hearing about. And we have some really big brands in our community, like O Positive's in there, Physician's Choice. These are multi-million-dollar brands sharing their secrets in our community.
The webinars, I mean, the last one with O Positive was 200 people that joined.
Yeah, 200 people.
That is so valuable. 200 people seems like a very low number for someone to learn from, literally someone that is crushing it on a new platform and telling you how they did it.
Yeah.
And like, if you're not watching that, like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, what better way to learn from someone actively doing it and telling you their plan for the next 6 months?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's to have that kind of network and community is invaluable. Like, you couldn't put a price on that to grow your brand. And also, like, we shared in our community about, is it called Deal for You Days?
Yeah, Deal for You
from
Days.
TikTok. So probably the average person didn't know about the Deal for You Days. This is the equivalent to Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And if you've been on TikTok recently, there's all kinds of deals to be had.
Yeah.
And the brands in our community, one of them specifically, I think they were doing 10,000, was it 10,000 a day or sales?
Something
like that, but now they're doing $50,000 a day
Yeah.
because of Deal for You Days. TikTok wanted people to have such great success with this campaign.
I mean, joining campaigns is so important. TikTok, I mean, at the end of the day, TikTok has to share their traffic with entertainment and shopping. So they really need an excuse to push shopping. So they're like, guys, it's Deal for You Days. Here's a live stream of Lullabites or whoever it is. And now it kind of makes sense to watch it, but they can't push it all the time because they still want to watch Charli D'Amelio do a dance.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Which I don't know if anyone realizes, but we're actually in a live studio right now, and we have like 6 live streams going on right next to us.
Yeah.
Which hopefully the sound cannot pick up.
I know.
But it's quite incredible. I'll get Nada to do a little camera spin at the end. You can see.
Yeah, there's people making money here every minute. So I talk to a lot of people at TikTok every day. We're on a chat app with people at TikTok. And one of the category managers was like, hey, exotic plants are doing really well right now.
Really?
You should start a plant stream. And I was like, okay, how do I start?
I know that Brandon, the plant guy, that guy?
I've seen him,
Yeah, he kills it.
Yeah, so they sent me all the top plant creators that are selling on TikTok Shop.
That's such a crazy niche, isn't it? Here's
so
the top
crazy.
plant sellers.
Yeah.
What?
But literally, you could start a business doing anything, and I'm going to tell you what I did. So they were like, hey, the plant category is really hot right now because it's springtime and people want to start planting. And they're like, exotic plants. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to my local farmer's market. And I'm going to talk to the guy there that has plants that I bought plants from him before. And I went up to him, his name's Johnny, and I was like, hey, Johnny, I'm interested in getting some succulents and cactuses, but I want the mini ones because I already asked my teenager, like, what kind of plants would you want in your room? And she's like, oh, mini ones are so cute. And I go, oh, for your mini ones that are $1 each, like, what would you be able to, like, give me a week? Like, what could you sustain? And he's like, funny you should ask. I'm one of the biggest plant distributors in the United States. I ship out thousands of plants every day from my nurseries. And I go, cool, do you think you could do like 10,000 plants a week if I got that big? And he's like, yeah, whatever. He started laughing at me. So I go, cool, I want to start with 500 plants right now. So I bought 500 succulents and mini cactuses, put it in my car, and set up a live streaming studio. And got some hosts that I knew about that would be like really passionate about plant information, had a green thumb. They knew all the things about plants because I don't. I'd probably kill a plant. But actually, succulents you can't really kill, so they last pretty good.
Yeah.
Started a plant stream, and within 4 weeks, we were doing $1,000 an hour. Really?
Wow.
Not knowing.
Wait,
anything about
how much was
plants.
each plant?
$1.
You were doing you were selling it for $1.
No, so wholesale $1. And then our retail price, I think it was like $7.
Okay.
Because that includes shipping, because shipping is kind of expensive.
That's good price.
Yeah, so we had a good margin.
Yeah.
And then we started doing bundles. And then we started doing little misters as an upsell. We started doing pottery. We started doing all these different...
So how many followers did that account have that you went live from?
It had like nobody, and then all of a sudden it blew up.
Like 0 followers or like 100 followers or something?
Like very low.
Like a couple of thousand
new.
max?
Brand new.
Okay, so everyone, because people watching might be like, oh, I can't do that because
you can do it.
They must have had 1 million followers. Like, no.
No, nobody knew about this channel.
No.
Literally started, and within 4 weeks, it was doing $1,000.
Because TikTok, the way that live streams work is they will be like, plant person goes live. I'm going to test who's watching this. This person watched it for a minute. This person watched it for 5 seconds. All right, let's filter out this category of people. The people that watched it for a minute, what do they have in common?
Yeah.
Oh, but they both happen to be interested in plants.
Yeah.
Let's test out. If I put 5 more people interested in plants, oh, they also want to watch it for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know this live stream is about plants, which the hashtags and the visuals are going to help. But really, the algorithm is going to test over and over again and just see if I push plant people in there, is it going to increase the sales? And it did. And so it doesn't really matter how many followers you have.
Yeah.
It just matters if the algorithm can catch what you're selling and they can match the right people to your live stream and then sell. Because at the end of the day, TikTok needs to make money too.
Yeah.
So what TikTok is, was it 6% commission?
6%.
Yeah.
And I cheated a little bit because obviously I understand marketing and I understand live shopping. So when I launched the stream with a team, not myself, I had a team, but we knew what we were doing. And I made a spreadsheet of all my friends and family, and I said, we're going live at this time. Every 10 minutes, one of you buying a plant. I'm just letting you know, you're all buying a plant today.
That's a really good tip, by the way, which not many people know about. They're like, why am I not selling organically immediately? Like, come on, like you have to give it time. But that is
that's how you kickstart the algorithm.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, like you should be doing that, but I use friends and family. My brother bought like 10 plants that day, and he's still mad about it. But like, but it helped it like launch, and even my kids can buy on TikTok Shop. So I was like, "You're buying plants," and they're like, "Why do I need plants?"
But they enjoyed the plants.
Yeah, and then they can tell their friends to buy plants, and like it was kind of a fun day to kickstart it off. And like, hey, we're starting this. Get your friends and family involved, and get them buying every 5 to 10 minutes for an hour, and you're good. Like then the algorithm's like, "Wow, this is a really popular live. Let's start working the algorithm to make it work for TikTok." So
and then obviously you said you incorporated bundles to bring the average order value up, and then you can come into the live strategy of like, we call it the traffic driving product. What's the product that is going to make people purchase in the very beginning, and then you build the hero product, and then you might want to seed affiliates with the product that sells really well, and then you start doing affiliate marketing, and all of that is inside of TikTok Shop. But not everything is TikTok. Like we also want to we don't just want to concentrate on TikTok all the time. It's just what's hot right now. It's super hot.
And if I could do it, I feel like anyone else could. And even like 18-year-olds could start a brand, and like they already really understand
some
TikTok.
of our biggest clients are like 24 years old.
Oh yeah.
And they're like 3 million a month.
Yeah.
Like what the heck?
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
What's your